My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events in every NXT Takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And if WNR141 Part 1, we are live for NXT Takeover Philadelphia. It's our pre-show, Dan. We are back. And of course tonight, do not forget to use the hashtag WNR Live.
This path, started by those beckoned by destiny, leads us to a place where a guided star has found its light.
Andrade Cien is the new NXT champion!
Where a spark has ignited the fire of an entire division.
Here in the Lone Star State, her home, she has become the North Star of the NXT Women's Division!
And a system has been shocked to its core.
What does this mean for the future of NXT?
But now, the path takes us to a place with a history of extreme.
Philadelphia has an extreme history. Adam Cole, at Takeover Philadelphia. Your match with Aleister Black is now an Extreme Rules match.
Aleister, there are 1,000,001 ways for me to hurt you. And in Philadelphia, I will mangle and embarrass Aleister Black.
You brought me through this realm, Adam. You chose this path. I embody Extreme Rules.
That's done! Oh, Shayna Baszler!
Get some help out here!
And then where does she turn her attention? But to Ember Moon and that NXT Women's Championship.
You want to bully someone, Shayna? Well, I dare you to try that with me.
Oh my God, Johnny Gargano has done it!
People were ready to write him off, and here he is today, the #1 contender. Do you hear that?
Johnny Wrestling is a lie. We've already beaten Johnny Gargano, not once, but twice. He is a loser.
For the first time in a very long time, I know exactly who I am. And I am the next NXT champion. When the crowd goes wild.
NXT goes to the extreme and takes over Philadelphia.
To the stratosphere. Now walking up.
So, yes, we are live for NXT Takeover Philadelphia. I mean, Dan, are you excited tonight?
I am very excited, yes. I'm more excited for tomorrow night. For the first time in a while, I'm looking forward to a WWE pay-per-view event over an NXT pay-per-view event.
Yeah, well, I think that is fair, you know, talk about level of excitement. I mean, of course, the Royal Rumble for, I think, both of us, is such a huge appeal. It's one of those matches that you never forget, one of the most exciting nights of the year. And NXT Takeover though does always deliver, so we've got to make sure that we don't forget about that. And of course tonight we'll be starting off a brand new prediction league for 2018. We've had fallout on Twitter with Dan and his Enzo t-shirt. I've allowed you not to wear it tonight. I've said that. You are wearing... What t-shirt are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Alistair Black t-shirt.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, that's fair. But we'll be doing shout-outs later. Plus NXT update, running through the card, plus fun and games and more. But first, it's time for alternate intros. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inquisitors of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who would attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you all know my name as the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. And of course, that is Samuel Jackson from Pulp Fiction. But we're going to start off, and we talk about it. We're going to have the first predictions of 2018. Who can forget last year's event? I mean, I can't believe it was only a year ago, Dan. I mean, just tell me more about the card.
Well, it was NXT Takeover at San Antonio, and it took place on January the 28th, 2017. And in that pay-per-view, we saw Eric Young defeat Ty Dillinger. CN lost to Roderick Strong. I mean, the current NXT champion lost.
Yeah.
In the NXT Tag Team title match, the Authors of Pain bested DIY. Oscar was running wild when she retained the NXT Women's title against Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay of the iconic duo.
Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
And then in the main event, James absolutely busted a blood vessel when the glorious one, Bobby Roode, beat Shinsuke fucking Nakamura to capture the NXT title.
Yeah, I mean, and I got a perfect score. I mean, would it happen again tonight, Dan? Maybe. But
no.
What an event last year was to have Nakamura and Bobby Roode. Now you could argue this year we haven't got that caliber of superstar. We'll run through the card, of course, like I said later on. But I mean, when you look at, like I said, CN on the losing end to Roderick Strong, and now 12 months later, going to be in a main event tonight, is quite a thing. Of course, Roderick Strong not featuring there, and the Authors of Pain still around, still being dominant in the tag team division. So let's have a quick game, Dan, because we do like our games.
We do love our games, yes.
Yeah, on the WNR podcast. So we're going to play a new one, and it's called Retired or Wrestling. Now, it's a bit like Dead or Alive. Instead of them being dead or alive, Dan, they're either wrestling nowadays or they are retired.
Okay.
So first up, you have Ted DiBiase Jr. or Brutus Beefcake.
I'd go for Ted DiBiase Jr. is wrestling, Brutus is retired.
Well, Dan, you'll be surprised to know Brutus Beefcake is still wrestling on independent shows to this day, going around the circuits. Ted DiBiase Jr. retired over 5 years ago. Crazy enough. He gave up wrestling once the WWE career didn't work out. Okay, up next. Unfortunately, you didn't get one right here. Best of three. We'll try our best here. Buff Bagwell or Shane Douglas?
I think he's still competing in Judy Bagwell on a pole matches. I'm going to go for Buff the Stuff. Bagwell is still wrestling.
You would think that, but Shane Douglas is whoring himself out to hardcore reunion shows around the country still. Buff Bagwell retired from wrestling and become a stripper. Yeah, well, okay.
But he's still doing something with a pole.
Yes, very good, very good. Alright, up next. Heidenreich or Snitsky? Of course, Snitsky was the one that kicked the baby. And what about Heidenreich?
Gene Snitsky is still wrestling. Heidenreich is retired.
Heidenreich is retired. 2009, he retired there. You are right about that. I mean, what do you think of that game, Dan? Did you like it?
That was interesting. So I've got a little game for you.
Alright, go on.
Can you name me the last 5 NXT champions?
Oh.
So we go in reverse order from current, and then we go 5.
Okay, right. You might have to help me. I know you're going to say so. So we know we've got CN because obviously he's
the
defending.
311 boy. Who did he beat?
Oh, I think you're doing it because of who he beat, really. So yes.
No, it's just a game, James. It's just a game.
Well, still, I don't appreciate it. Drew McIntyre, my man.
Who did McIntyre beat to capture the title?
Well, the glorious one, Bobby Roode. Who can forget? And then, well, we've just talked about the event, of course, 12 months ago. Nakamura was champion, losing to Rude. And then you had Nakamura and... who's he feuding with? Joe.
Joe.
Was it Joe?
It was Joe.
Joe, and then Joe.
That's 5.
Yeah, 5?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
McIntyre, Rude, Nakamura, and Joe.
Joe. Have you got... well, who was...
And then if you want to get cocky, you
Right.
can say Nakamura, and then Joe again.
Yeah.
And then Balor, Owens, Zayn, Neville, Bo Dallas.
You fucking
Do you
hell,
remember
right?
him?
Yeah.
B, and then Seth Rollins.
Oh my goodness! So of course Seth Rollins was first champion. There wasn't that many.
So there have
names in
only
the
been
list.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 champions.
I only been 12 champions. I mean, that's quite incredible. And would you say everybody on this list? Well, they've all made it to the WWE. I mean,
Well, if you have a look at who's won heavyweight championships.
yeah, all right,
Seth Rollins.
yeah.
Big E hasn't. Has he made much of an impact? Oh no, New Day.
Well, New Day,
Huge.
Intercontinental Tag Team
Tag team,
Champion, yeah.
Bo Dallas.
No, we can't say Bo Dallas.
Neville.
Not really anymore. You can't say really
he
a
was
success.
cruiserweight champion for a while. Sami Zayn, he's going for the heavyweight championship tomorrow night.
Yep, Kevin Owens has been champion as well. Let's not forget Universal Champion.
Yeah. Balor, first ever Universal Champion.
Yeah. Joe, well, he deserves the title, but obviously, I think they could have used Joe better, but still.
Nakamura.
Ditto. What I just said
Yeah.
for Joe, Nakamura, really.
Rude.
Rude again, somewhat.
US champion.
He is US champion now, and there's still hope for him. McIntyre, well, of course.
Former Intercontinental champion,
Yes,
but
he-
in the new era, since he's gone away, redesigned himself slightly.
Yeah.
Come back, he's out injured, unfortunately. Could he make an appearance tomorrow? Could he make an appearance tonight?
Well, this is the thing. Does he come back to NXT to go WWE? I think it is a shame. I think if we would have had a McIntyre versus CM match at this takeover, had it not been for the injury, I don't know what you think about that. But
Again, would they have changed the result? Would McIntyre have retained his title if he hadn't have got injured? Was it a fly call?
yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So it's interesting to see, especially when he is a big enough star when he comes back to debut on Raw or SmackDown, I suppose. And CN. We get onto him in a little bit more detail, but he, for me, is so underrated as well.
Could he be the new Miz? I mean, with Zelina Vega
With
in his
Vega,
corner.
yeah.
The Mexican Miz.
I think it's a possibility, especially the way he works. He has really, really great matches, doesn't he? But we do move on.
Yes.
So we do move on, and up next it is NXT Update. And Dan, when do we start NXT Update?
Now!
We've got 2 episodes to catch up on here, and up first it is episode 430, January 17th, 2018.
Well, tonight's episode from Centre Stage Atlanta will see the ever-popular Street Profits try and get their first title shot as they take on perennial powerhouses, Authors of Pain, to become the new #1 contenders to the Undisputed Era's belts. Fabian Eichner also looks to continue to raise his stock in NXT as he faces off against Roderick Strong.
Well, we start off with Heavy Machinery versus Sabatelli and Moss. And before the bell rings, we get a look at Heavy Machinery taking a peek at the former football star's car parked out front of the Performance Centre last month. So here we go, Sabatelli and Moss versus Heavy Machinery. Out of these 2 teams, Dan, who do you like more? Who do you think's got more potential?
I actually quite like Heavy Machinery. It likes me a bit of Otis Dozovic.
Yeah, I mean, Dozovic and Tucker Knight, isn't it? Are quite a good powerhouse type team. I mean, but you know what I am. I'm a sucker for bodies, and Tino Sabatelli is probably rocking the hardest abs in NXT right now.
And they're in the wrong corners, just like to say.
Yep, but Dozovic showing his power early on to Sabatelli. But Tino's not going to be bothered about it. Look at that. Look at that athletic leaping ability of Tino. Dropkick right on the button.
But he doesn't knock the big man down, bounces his head off the top turnbuckle, and I think that's just annoyed Otis Dozovic.
And he ran through him there like Bulldozovic. And Tino, beautiful leapfrog there. He's such an athlete.
Goes for the flying cross body though, but gets caught and slammed down. You can't beat these powerhouses.
Oh, Dozovic slams Tino in the corner.
Knight tags himself in.
What can he do?
Nice bit of assistance there from his partner Dozovic there. As he helos over the top on his way in.
You usually see people like Eddie Guerrero doing that, not someone the size of Tucker Knight now, who's gone straight for that front face lock on Sabatelli. Big powerful legs, hasn't he? Yeah. Tucker Knight's got.
As he swings Sabatelli round by his neck. How's about that for a Cesaro swing?
Well, my God, he's showing his power there, and I bet Sabatelli's a bit dizzy.
Well, he's looking punch drunk. Moss tags himself in, but I don't think he wants to be in.
Well, Tucker Knight showing his technical ability there. Drop toe hold, taking him down.
Front face lock.
I thought he was going to try tagging Dozovic. It looks like he's going to try and swing around Moss.
But Moss, I think he got his leg over the second rope there to try and break the... Yeah. And it's worked because he's got the upper hand now.
Well, most definitely, showing that bit of intelligence. But Knight, go behind, takes him down.
Again, he's got very good technical ability for a larger fella. And now he's going to go for the swing.
Moss escaped it once. And he can't do it again.
That wasn't as pretty as the one he done on Sabatelli, but he's dizzy now. Otis is in. Is he going to be sitting at the dock of the bay?
Well, both of these men now run into each other.
And they just made a Moss sandwich.
And now Dozovic slapping his chest.
Psyching himself up. Oh, he's going to do the worm to an elbow. Beautiful. Taking a page out of Scotty 2 Hotty's book there. But Sabatelli comes in to break up the pinfall attempt.
And Dozovic sends him down. Back to concentrating on Riddick Moss. Picks him up. Running power slam.
Oh, no. He gets an assist from his friend. And manages to tag in Sabatelli.
And Tino did good there. And like I said, Moss with a chop block. Now they've finally got the big men down after a couple of minutes of, well, basically being beaten up here. Going to take advantage of it now. Throw Dozovic in the corner.
But the thing is Sabatelli and Moss seems like they've recovered quite quickly from their 5 minutes.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is the thing now, is we're going to see, they're still quite green, aren't they? Still quite new, but this is the future of the NXT Tag Team division here. Riddick and Moss and and Heavy Machinery are going to be a part now for the next year or so, because you look at all the other tag teams. I mean, out of every division in NXT, you could maybe say the tag team division isn't the strongest,
Well, again, now you've got 2 gifted tag teams here. It's scenery, in my personal opinion.
Oh, and Dozovic manages to slam Moss down. Got some separation. Can he tag in Tucker Knight?
Oh, Knight comes in, runs through Moss. Lovely drop kick on Sabatelli, showing his aerial ability.
Oh, now it's going to be the Tucker train.
Oh, slams him in the corner.
Sabatelli comes in but gets caught with a hip toss for his troubles.
He gets eliminated from the Rumble.
Oh, but Moss with a sneaky roll-up's got the ropes.
2.
Oh. And they sneak a victory here, Sabatelli and Moss, but I don't think that was a bad tag team match. Dan, what are your thoughts?
No, I wasn't quite sure how Sabatelli and Moss was the heels in this, but they look quite facey. But, it is what it is. I thought Heavy Machinery, they performed really well. They certainly had the upper hand throughout most of the match, and it was a cheeky pinfall victory that got the job done for Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli.
Yeah, no, I like their potential, though. I like their ability. I like both these teams here. They seem to have a nice chemistry together. Yeah, I think you can only say it was a lot quicker than you would want, Like the recovery times we talked about. And even the hot tag in wasn't beaten down for that long.
No.
But I think this feud does continue. Undisputed Era were a backstage promo with their music in the background. They say takeovers are their event. Cole says that they try to scare him with an Extreme Rules match in Philly against Aleister Black, but not an issue. The tag team champs say Street Profits and AOP are fighting for the opportunity to get dropped by the champs.
And then we get a preview of Adam Cole versus Aleister Black and how we got to the point and stipulation of Extreme Rules.
Yeah, and of course we'll run through the card later on our live show and really delve into it. Get your thoughts down on your man Aleister Black versus Adam Cole. But up next, it's Roderick Strong versus a man I'm becoming quite a big fan on the WNR podcast. It is Fabian Aichner. Aichner in action against Strong. So we're going to see these two men here. Of course, Italian-born Fabian Aichner with the most German name in the history of professional wrestling. And Roderick Strong, stock's kind of fallen since TakeOver in November, hasn't it, you know?
Yeah.
He was in the main event with Authors of Pain, and now he's kind of dropped down. Do you think he's ready for another NXT title opportunity, or do you think, what are your thoughts on Strong?
Personally, I think he's going to go out to the main roster and Ty Dillinger.
Oh, come on now. Better than Roderick Strong.
No, I mean, he's going to get the same treatment that Ty Dillinger's got.
Yeah.
What's happened to him?
Well, this is the strange thing. Nothing has happened to him, and I think Ty Dillinger, it would be a case of someone staying in NXT and actually would have improved their career as well and would have become a huge star in NXT, especially with the 10 chance. He had the potential there to, be a really good babyface underdog NXT champion. And I think Roderick Strong, they've tried that with him, and I've been around quite a while now, hasn't he? And there's no disputing the fact that he's a good wrestler, but it's just like, I can't really get invested in him, Like, well, if you compare it to the baby faces that we got, like Johnny Gargano. I mean, Johnny Gargano's a lot more likeable than Roderick Strong is, and I'm that kind of upper mid card level. Cassius Sono's another guy that I would probably like more as well in NXT, and we'd like to see him have an opportunity. With Strong, it's like, I don't know, will there be something with Undisputed Era down the line? But him and Aichner had good exchanges in the early going. Aichner showing his power, catching Strong and power slamming him. We're back, and it looks like here that Fabian Aichner's got the abdominal stretch into Roderick Strong, made famous by Wilbur Schneider. Strong's just got out of it, though.
Oh, but gets turned inside out by a lovely power slam there by Aichner. Goes for the cover. One.
Now he brings him out to the middle of the ring. Might be trying for his powerbomb.
Oh, but Strong over the top. Blocks the punch attempt by Aichner, and he's unleashing a flurry of his own chops. Oh, takes down Fabian.
Lovely clothesline by Roderick Strong, trying to get the crowd behind him. Now the shoulder blocks in the corner. What about that for knife-edge chop? Building momentum now. Picks up Aichner.
Oh, was he looking for the angle slam, but Aichner turns it into an arm drag takedown.
Tries to get his boot up to Strong, but gets caught. Oh, my God.
Backbreaker to backbreakers, doesn't he?
He is the messiah of the backbreaker. Now Strong's got Aichner up on his shoulders, but Fabian holding on to those top rope. Bonds with a huge forearm to Roderick Strong.
Oh, tilt-a-well backbreaker from Aichner there. He's giving Strong a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, he's showing he's got different variations of it as well. And this will be a huge victory for this newcomer Aichner. Of course, being in CWC tournament, that's where we first saw him. But a real standout victory here tonight. I mean, especially with the NXT title the way it is, anybody could really win it. Oh,
springboards his way over the top. Gets caught by Strong. Was he looking for the walls of Jericho?
Oh my God, he's got it in, and my word,
tapping out.
Well, Fabian had no choice, caught there. And Roderick looking strong in victory against Aichner. Dan, what do you think of the match?
It wasn't a bad match, to be fair. It's both these guys, especially Aichner's got a lot of potential. But again, another short match.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. NXT's only an hour, so we're going to try and fit in like 3 or 4 matches, especially with the number one contendership match later. But what they gave us was, in this action, it wasn't dull, was it? Do you know what I mean?
No. Well, Strong takes the mic and cuts the same promo Lars Sullivan cut on Killian Dane last week, word for word. Strong calls out Sullivan, and the crowd has their doubts.
Yeah, so each man wants the other. I mean, we will see something down the road. We see a TM61 with a vignette goofing off on a backstage promo. We get a look at the highlight reel in NXT, as well as the home country of Australia. We see a cool backstory of their early careers and their work in Harley Race's Academy that got their initial tryout, which they didn't get signed. They continued their journey in Japan to hone their craft. We'll see part 2 of their story next week. Of course, TM61 coming back. I mean, people that might not know them, we have seen them before. They were in, I think, the first Dusty Classic Australian tag team. And like we say, tag team division now, I think they're going to try and work it out. But our next match, Dan, is...
Well, it is Nymph versus Lacey Evans.
Oh, I do love me some Nymph in action here. Go against Lacey Evans. Of course, we saw her in the Mae Young. So many tournaments that we've seen these people in now.
Oh, she's got a very seductive walk into the ring.
Well, we'll see if she can impress here tonight. I'm a big fan of Nymph, so hopefully she can get the victory here tonight. But, I mean, there is nothing happy about Evans' face at the moment. Kind of dressed as a sailor. Here we go, collar and elbow top to start things off. Beautiful handstand there, trying to get out of the hold, and the arm ringer turned around.
Evans gets the upper hand.
Getting a leg up very high there, now dropping Nymph down, but Nymph nips up.
And now Lacey's got the ear of Aaliyah.
Very aggressive, and Nymph for the takedown, go for the cover.
Oh, a lovely test of strength, bridging out from Evans. And a backslide of her own, but Aaliyah rolls through, lands on a bum.
Oh, messes that up, but manages to get up to forearmer. Snapmare takedown, and now trying to roll up Evans. Oh, got in a comfortable position and managing to kick out. It's a bit messy so far.
Irish Rip with Nymph in the corner, but Evans gets deposited over the top rope.
Oh, now Evans grabbing a hold of Nymph's hair.
And raking her face along the top rope. You can certainly tell who the heel is in this match.
Exactly. Now Evans, nice kick down to Nymph.
Oh, a heel over the top, dropping the elbow. Goes for the cover to... kick out by Nymph.
Working the back of the head of Nymph.
She's very flexible.
Now working the corner on the aggressive side of Lacey Evans.
That's a very innovative version of a Bronco Buster.
Easy for you to say. Might be able to beat her with this one. No. The interesting thing, as we start 2018 with NXT, I talked about the tag team division being open. Every division is there for the taking now for anybody who wants to come in. You know, Ember Moon is the NXT Women's Champion, but with challenges apart from Nikki Cross, you know, if someone can grab that so-called brass ring. It's the same with CN's NXT Championship. It's the same with the tag team title as well with the Undeserving Era. But Nymph off the top. But like I said, we're going to get into this all as we talk about the card later on. Beautiful Northern Lights suplex there by Nymph.
I just don't want Shania Baszler to run the fucking women's division.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? Yeah, it would be weird, and then it would be another person who's kind of untouchable there.
Well, you know, at least she's lost a match. She lost in the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just don't want her to run roughshod.
But, you know...
get boring.
I'm sorry, I know it, but, you know, Ember Moon is not going to be in NXT for too much longer. She is ready now for the money, you know, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months.
Jawbreaker there by Evans. Sends Nymph back into the corner.
Here comes Nymph running in.
Oh, a big right hand. Nearly knocked Nymph out.
Well, Evans saying the power of the punch here. And I think that is enough to get the victory. Rolls over a lifeless body. Goes for the pin.
3.
And that is all she wrote. Lacey Evans, very impressive here, putting Nymph down. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, both floppy to start with, but once they found their groove, they kind of picked it up a bit. Again, you know, quite another quick match. I wasn't quite sure on the finisher, though.
No, I mean, they didn't really sell it as anything. She looked more surprised than anybody else that she got the victory from it. So maybe now she'll be moving forward as a kind of threat in the women's division. But after the match, Evans takes the mic and cuts a heel promo and said it's time for a real classy and powerful woman to clean house around NXT.
She names Nikki Cross and Ember Moon by name before Shania Baszler comes out. After a quick stare down, Baszler chooses Aaliyah as her victim instead. She chokes out Aaliyah as officials try to break it up. Moon comes out for the save for the second week in a row, and for the second week in a row, Baszler exits stage left. Moon takes the mic and dares Shania to bully her like she has done the others. She wants to fight, but Baszler says she's not in her gear, and it will have to wait for another day.
Moon says to name the time and place. Baszler says Philly, and for the NXT Women's title. Christy St. Cloud interviews Mr. Eagle backstage after what just transpired. Regal says he will make the title match with Moon versus Baszler for NXT Takeover Philadelphia.
Zelina Vega pops in and runs down Johnny Gargano and brings up that it was Velveteen Dream's rightful spot. This gives Regal something to think about as Vega exits.
Well, promo for Noah Jose, who says 2017 was full of ups and downs, but like all roller coasters, he had fun doing it. He returns to action next week.
Well, Johnny Gargano marches to the ring without music and grabs a mic. He said he's heard the conversations and the chatter and some behind his back. He says he's not a broken man or a loser and his wins haven't been flukes. He says this is his time and no one will stop him. Gargano agrees to put his title shot on the line next week against Velveteen Dream.
So it could be Velveteen Dream versus CN at TakeOver if the Dream, like I said, can beat Gargano next week. That's a huge risk to take. And then we get a look back at Undisputed Era attacking Sanity and putting them at just a couple of weeks ago, that attack in the back. But right now, the main event of NXT this week, we're going to find out who the new number one contenders are for the tag team titles. Who will face the Undisputed Era? Would it be Street Profits or the Authors of Pain? I mean, Dan, who are your favourites in this one?
I'm going to go for the AOP, but, you know, they don't look to be towering over the Street Profits as they do other competitors.
I'm quite surprised. Yeah, Angelo Dawkins is not as small as maybe I thought he was in my head. Like
and, you know, Montez Ford isn't even that small, to be fair.
Yeah, and Ford and Dawkins have been putting on quite performances recently, of course, Sabatelli and Moss and people like this. So they are due a chance. We talk about the future NXT tag team division. But the Authors of Pain, I'm surprised they're still in NXT, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and the Akam and Razor, of course, former NXT tag team champions in their own right, dominated throughout 2017 until losing to Sanity. But Ford's not going to back down. He nips straight back up. Ford goes to leave him, but Akam catches, going to the corner. Razor tags in now. And both clubbing blows to the back of Ford, going for the cover, but managing to kick out. See, match these two teams, very different, aren't they? We've got the powerful Authors of Pain, and we've got the speed and agility in Montez Ford and Dawkins. That's what Authors of Pain want to do, wear them down, of course, with Paul Ellering in their corner.
Well, there, you know, you can see why they're singling out Ford. He's a smaller one of the Street Profits.
He's got the full Nelson in right now and wearing down Ford.
So are you backing in this one then?
I think Authors of Pain. I think at the moment, I would love to see the Authors of Pain destroy Undisputed Era at TakeOver. You know, I think that would be perfect. I think the Authors of Pain should be in WWE right now. But then again, if they've got no plans for them, then don't call them up. Like I said, there's no point in them coming up just for a month and then doing nothing with them. They've got to have long-term plans for NXT stars now, you know.
But you've got the tag titles going between either the Shield or the Shield and Jordan, and you know the Bar, which is a bit boring. Yeah. And you know you've got the Usos winning the tag team titles every other month.
Yeah, but I mean the Usos versus the Authors of Pain would be quite a good feud. Like, you know, you'd get good matches out of that.
That'd be confusing as fuck, though.
It would be confusing, but I mean, you know that they're both. I mean, the one thing Authors of Pain have proved, especially over this past year, is the fact is they can put on good matches. Like their series of DIY, Revival, and you know, even match with Sanity, we thought, oh god, this might not be quite good. Actually, turned out all right. So we know they can go in the ring. But the fact is, you don't want to be up there and being an Ascension, do you? You know, and just being jobbed out and then having a waste.
What are you saying? Being the Fashion Police's friend is being a waste.
Yeah, of course it is. They didn't have a plan for the Ascension. You think how they were the longest running NXT Tag Team Champions in history, and they went up to the main roster. They didn't have a plan for them.
Yeah, but you're forgetting that Bo Dallas was an NXT champion at one stage.
Exactly, and what plans did they have for him when he came up? We're back from the break, and the Authors of Pain still in complete control of this. You've got Razor in there with a front face lock, keeping Ford away from his corner. There's Paul Ellering looking on intently at ringside. Well, Ford's got in the front face lock, but now he's powering out.
Well, he's trying to power his way to Montez. And Razor is, I don't know, he's looking like he's getting pushed.
He's struggling a little bit, and he tries to hit Montez Ford, but he dodges, and now he gets a tag to Dawkins. Now Dawkins he's on fire, baby.
He's running through both Akam and Razor. Akam's been knocked to the outside.
Yeah, Razor in serious trouble now. Dawkins uppercut, knocking the big man down. And this is a huge opportunity for the Street Profits. Here comes Dawkins. Oh!
A lovely arm in the corner.
He picks him up, and here comes Ford off the top.
Oh, lovely assisted drop kick. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. But Akam in to break up the pinfall attempt.
And I think there's a mistake made there, because Ford's tagged in after being beating up the majority of the match. But as I say that, Akam has just run through Angelo Dawkins there with a huge clothesline. And maybe it's time for the Super Collider, which of course is a double power bombs. Street Profits in trouble. There we go, Super Collider connects. There's got to be one of my favourites.
But they're not finished yet. The old side Russian leg sweep with a clothesline. on Ford, and he gets that 3.
There's no doubt about that. Like I said, once the Authors of Pain hit that move, it is over. And very, very dominating there by the Authors of Pain. They become number 1 contenders. I think a little bit of a disappointment, Dan. What do you think?
It was, yeah. I thought Dawkins was going to come in and run roughshod. It seemed like, they had the upper hand. And it almost looked like they had Rezar finished with their drop kick and spinebuster off the top. But, it was Rezar Khan with the save.
Well, one thing we know about the Authors of Pain is that they're always there to save each other. They know where the other one is at all times. And that's what makes them such a great tag team, And especially when you see the finish as well.
At this point, James, no one looks to be able to stop the Authors of Pain.
And the last chapter there by the Authors of Pain getting the job done. Well, that is it for this week's show. Alright, so that was the first episode, and we'll be watching the second episode coming up. But first, let's do a few shout-outs. And we love getting your emails, your comments in. You can... we'll do the plug now. We usually say it for the end of the show. But, of course, you can send us the tweets at WWE Network Review or...
at Vince McMahon, WWE.
And I'm at J_Rowlands. Of course, use the hashtag WNR Live for that. You can also comment on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. You can come and find our page and give us a like with a WWE Network Review, or you can come and find me and have me as a friend. I'm Vince McMahon.
And of course, don't forget as well, Google Plus, the WNR podcast at gmail.com, and YouTube's where we've got the videos up there as well. And these where we collect all the comments from everybody, and now we're going to read out a few shout-outs. So, excuse me. Up first, Rebecca Briscoe. She says she can't wait for TakeOver and wants Ali Black not only beat Cole, but become NXT champion. I mean, Dan, what are your thoughts on that?
That is a good shout. I'd love to see Ali B as NXT champion, but I'd rather see him go into the main roster and make something big of himself there than be left in NXT. I know, NXT's probably had the better shows for the past year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, you would say, yeah.
Even probably this year they'll have a better show, better stories, but I don't know, it would be nice to see Aleister Black become champion, but, I'd rather see him move up personally.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're a huge fan of Aleister Black, and, I like him as well, and I think there's a real potential there. If you look at his entrances at NXT and the kind of way his character is, the quiet type of guy goes about his business, there's real potential there to kind of build him up this aura. People like The Undertaker or even Sting, and what they tried to do with Bray Wyatt with Aleister Black, and have a real kind of serious character. And I think it could work out. You can take the next one, Dan.
Kenny Mack asks, can Ricochet be a success in NXT?
I mean, what do you think?
Well, if you just look at his YouTube videos, I think they'll speak for themselves. We've had the pleasure of seeing him live, and he had a great match against what's his name?
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay.
And weirdly enough, you say that if you go to the WWE Net Review podcast on YouTube, then we have got a clip of Ricochet versus Will Ospreay where they both attempt the 630 splash, which is something to behold live and on video as well, as we see these both men.
Yeah, and we've also had our picture taken with him, so
yeah.
We're going to have to back Ricochet or Prince Puma, depending on what he's going to be coming in as. And, maybe we might see him in the crowd tonight.
We might. Who knows what could happen here? I mean, of course, we'll tweet that picture and put it up on Facebook soon, of course. And like with Ricochet, can he be success in NXT? Well, these are the questions, aren't they? Will he definitely be going to NXT? I mean, there's been talk about him maybe going to 205 Live and being part of the Cruiserweight division.
I think he'd be wasted in 205 Live. No disrespect to the 205 Live crew, but I think going through NXT and then going up to the main roster eventually, he'd be a great underdog style wrestler.
Yeah.
I think
agree, yeah.
He could be what Sami Zayn could have been.
Yeah, he's got that kind of emotion he brings into matches where you like him, when he's getting the way he sells as well is you think he's getting the crap beaten out of him, and I think in NXT to try and develop the character more. I think the only problem for him is, do you think they'll go with Ricochet or do you think they'll change the gimmick?
I don't know, because as we know with WWE, they like to have creative control over characters.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know. Because Prince Devitt, when he came in, was a huge star and, of course, turned into Finn Balor. So he might be called Roger Agon by the end of the year. I don't know what name he...
I'd like to see him as Ricochet, but, again, it's one of them weird questions, but...
Yeah.
Regardless of what he's called, he can be called Fred Bloggs for all we care.
Yeah.
I think he's going to become a great success in NXT. When he inevitably moves up, then that'll probably be the bigger question, how they treat him when he does move up.
Yeah, no, I think that's an excellent point, yeah. Okay, so next one, Hunter Sherry said, I don't know if I guess it's a guy, I think NXT is past it. Balor, Nakamura, Rude, Oscar have all gone, and who's left? Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on that firstly, Dan?
Well, with NXT, we've always thought that once the good talent moves up, i.e., Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, when they all go, who replaces them? But they always seem to get someone in. We've had Drew McIntyre come in, had a very impressive run. I'm not too sure on the current NXT champion. I know he's one of my 311 boys, but it does seem like it's getting weak, and then they add some more talent and they boost the ranks, and it gets better.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem at the moment to maybe not have the star power it used to, but I feel for a wrestling perspective, the action is, if not better, good if not better than it has been in the past. I think the level of action we're going to get tonight in a Gargano CN match is more than we had for Nakamura and Rude last year. And I know Balor was a great worker and stuff, but of course it's going to take an impact on NXT taking away all this talent. It's got to. But as we've seen with what they're doing with the tag team division with people like TM61 and with the women's division as well with Baszler and the Mae Young Classic, I think there still is, especially with Ricochet, and even just imagine, I know Cody Rhodes has said that he's not going to be coming over anytime soon, but that is another guy who could potentially come down to NXT, and then you've got your star right there, so...
Exactly, yes, and who's left? Well, we've got Kairi Sane, she's a brilliant worker, she had the best matches we've seen in the Mae Young Classic. We've got Nikki Cross. She's a very unpredictable element.
Yeah.
We've got Aleister Black. Everyone's raving about Ali B. Who else have we got? Can you name a few more?
Well, if you want to, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch are two guys.
Two brilliant talents.
Two great workers that, if you get behind them and stuff. And also you've got the whole kind of... I would say Undisputed Era, but yeah, the Undisputed Era, that is NXT. These three guys, I mean, I hate to admit it, but I'm starting to warm to them slightly because I think they can get the job done, and I know, so I don't want to upset you so early on, but and I think they'll be quite good talents. I think you've got Sanity still in NXT, that's still got a lot to offer.
So yeah, big Killian Dane, exactly. He's certainly impressive talent. We've got Lars Sullivan.
Lars Sullivan is a huge monster.
He's a monster, yeah. He could be the new monster of NXT. Yeah. They're always improving their talent, and if Ricochet signs up, they'll have War Machine coming through soon. Candice LeRae.
Yeah, exactly, Candice LeRae, who
the impending return of Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes, well, can I just mention quickly, you just said Candice LeRae, there's a tweet earlier from Johnny Gargano, he has arrived tonight with his wife, Candice LeRae. And the question is now, is that an equaliser to Zelina Vega, or is it something else? We'll get on to the card, but that is the thing that's just dropped now on Twitter.
Well, Alison Conlon, she said, Austin ruled Raw 25.
Well, yeah, let's not forget last night we did release our WNR25, the Raw 25 special podcast that we did, and thank you for the great response. And for me, personally, I think Austin was my favourite bit of Raw 25, Dan. I don't know about you.
A very unclimactic show. I know, there was a few interesting matches, but it didn't really lead towards anything, seeing as though, you know, the next time they're going to be live from Raw, it's going to be the Royal Rumble. No, they didn't really build too much towards that. There was a bit of a rush stare down, but definitely Austin, that segment was a brilliant bit of the Attitude Era nostalgia that we've missed from Raw.
Yeah, I think so. And to have a guy, you know, don't worry, everybody watches wrestling now. There were good guys that were just universally cheered, and Austin was one of those who, when he came out, I mean, I know people will say Hogan, but you have to go back 35 years when every kid loved Hogan. Even in the 90s, he used to get boos. With Austin, it's a constant set of cheers. The fans just respect and love him. And it's a bygone era for that now, where, you know, they do boo you now with people like Cena and Reigns, as opposed to that kind of Steve Austin talent. Alright, so Carlos Gonzalez.
Is he the nephew to the Giant?
Yes, he is. He emailed us in. And he said, Undisputed Era are the saviours of NXT. Don't know why you hate them. Now, of course, me and Dan have expressed a hate, but like I just said, I'm warming to them. I mean, Dan, why do you hate Undisputed Era?
I don't know. It was just one of them, you know, when I first saw them, I hated them. They've got such rave reviews from everywhere else they've been in a WWE, you know, in the independent circuits and all over the world, what they've done. And I just haven't seen any of that talent in NXT. You know, I like to see wrestlers deserve their victories sometimes. You know, even The Miz has had victories on his own without having to cheat his way to them. I can't remember when.
Well, Raw 25, that was a nice clean victory there for him, beating Roman Reigns.
It's as clean as The Miz's gout. But, you know, it still took Roman Reigns a headbutt to the exposed turnbuckle.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not going into Miz.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow when he starts.
I just really dislike them. I don't know, it's everything about them, the way they go about victories, the way I've not seen any of the talent they're supposed to have in the ring.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You know, I couldn't tell you a good match they've had. I know they wasn't bad in War Games, but I think that's down to the other two teams in it as well, you know, the Authors of Strong Pain and Sanity.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, if they do impress me, then I will be sure to let you know.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. I mean, I've started to warm to the kind of characters that they are, you know, with Cole, O'Reilly and Fish. But, like I said, we haven't had a standout moment yet. In a normal wrestling match. Yes, we've had a few stunts, but on either a one-on-one match or a two-on-two match, we haven't had a match, keep saying match, where you don't think that they've been, you know, oh, this is great. So maybe it will happen tonight. Maybe it will be the same, like the Authors of Pain versus Undisputed Era is the greatest match that ever happened on an NXT Takeover. You just don't know about this, do you? You know?
Indeed, yes. But you know, again, it will remain to be seen. Is that enough hating on undeserved?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
Well, John Hutchins, pick one woman, one man, and one team in NXT to take part in a 4-on-4 match.
Oh my word! So 4-on-4. So one man, one woman, and one tag team to be part of NXT. Well, okay. So if we're going to pick, let's have a look at women first then. Because if we're going to do women, I'll leave it. If we're going to do women, then I'm going to put my first choice. I'm going to write my first choice down and not show you.
My first choice.
Have you got a woman down first choice? Yeah? Okay. So up next we want a tag team. So a tag team. So what tag teams are in NXT? Who could be? Alright, I've got one in mind. I've wrote them down. Have you wrote yours down?
I'm just writing it down now.
Yeah, so anybody listening live, of course, write down yours and tweet in hashtag WNR Live or WNR Podcast at gmail.com. Let us know your teams. So we've got a tag team, we've got women's, but we're not saying anything yet. And now we need a male superstar. Can they be injured?
Can they be Scottish?
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to put that down.
I wonder who you've gone for.
What? You don't know? Right.
Well, I've written mine down.
You got yours down. Okay, it's fine. So, women first, Dan. There's a lot to choose from. I mean,
I've gone for the angry lady, Nikki Cross.
You gone for Nikki. I mean, there's a lot of women to choose from in NXT, Dan. You've got Nikki Cross.
Women, yeah.
Of course, there's the NXT Women's Champion, Ember Moon. Shayna Baszler's come in and looked really dominant.
We've got the Princess Pirate, Kairi Sane.
Nymph, one of my favourites.
One of your favourites. We've got the iconic duo.
Exactly. So this is why I have gone for Nikki Cross as my woman.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. All right, tag team now.
I have gone for Tucker Knight and Otis Davis. Heavy machinery.
Wow. Well, Knight and Davis. That's good. That's good, man. I have gone for another big tag team. I mean, a lot of tag team choices again. Sanity, Undisputed Era. Have we gone the Undisputed Era? Have we gone Fish, O'Reilly and Cole? No, I've gone for the Authors of Pain is my tag team.
Wow, yeah, that's an interesting point. We've got a crazy woman in our team, obviously the same crazy woman.
Yeah.
We've got our big fellas.
Yep, Authors of Pain. I mean, but Nikki Cross is so crazy, she could fight herself.
Yeah.
You know, I could definitely see that. So my man, I'll do my man first, because like you said, it's not really surprising who I've gone for. I, of course, have gone for the 311 boys. No, of course I haven't. I have gone for Drew McIntyre.
Well, I wouldn't have doubted it. And I'm sure you already know who I've gone for.
Yeah, well, I wonder. Adam Cole, yeah.
Baby! No, I have, of course, gone for my man, Ali B.
Aleister Black. I mean, that's not a bad tag team matches. I mean, both gone for Nikki Cross. Yes, she could fight herself, but McIntyre and Black. I mean, will they ever fight each other? Do you reckon? One-on-one?
Aleister Black and Drew McIntyre flanked by Authors of Pain and Heavy Machinery.
That would be.
I mean, you got your two big guys. You got your skilled, unknown entity. We've seen them team together.
We have seen tag team. Do make a great tag team. But with Dozovich and Knight, I think they are you've picked there the future of NXT. If you look at it, well, the people you've picked haven't been champion.
Yeah.
Black hasn't been NXT champion. No. Tucker Knight and Dozovich obviously.
Well, Black and Heavy Machinery, they haven't gone for a title.
No.
Cross, she's had probably one of Asuka's best matches in NXT with the last women standing, and she did hold her own in that. Yeah,
she did. Yeah, whereas mine are. Yeah, like to talk about Nikki Cross, Payne and McIntyre. I'm so 2017, Dan.
I know, James. You need to get rid of future. But
yeah. But we move on, and we just mentioned Asuka. Daryl Moore said Moon is only champ because Asuka went away. Baszler would beat her easy. Now, I mean, we'll go into the card a bit more, but I mean, ask yourself this then, Daryl. If Asuka went away because of Moon's champ, if Asuka was still here, would Baszler stand a chance against Asuka?
Well, there is certainly that side to it. It would be a very interesting match.
Yes.
But again, the way Asuka was billed in NXT, I don't think Shayna Baszler would have stood a chance.
No, I think it would have been a really great submission-based match, but Asuka would have come out on top. I think Asuka is unstoppable, and yes, we are on the eve of the Royal Rumble, and yes, we are live tomorrow, and I guess we'll be speaking about Asuka, but she, there has not been a woman in NXT, there's not been a star in NXT that did more than Asuka did. Like, Asuka carried NXT for so long, and like people, we got a comment earlier, didn't we, that Hunter said that because Asuka's gone, and like I said, such a huge effect, but we will have that match soon. There's no doubt Baszler will go up to the main card and will eventually face Asuka, and we'll ask ourselves later if Baszler can indeed beat Moon.
But again, without going too much into our predictions, Moon certainly held her own against Asuka. I mean, some of the early matches, Asuka only won because she cheated.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Did she see herself as, unable to beat her in normal standard one-on-one competition?
Well, exactly. This is the point. But you got to ask yourself as well. You ask me. I'm asking you. Fact is, Baszler will go the extra mile like Asuka will. So if Ember Moon has a problem or can't, when someone cheats, if she can't get the job done, then she's going to be in a whole heap of trouble later on tonight, you know, and this is what we've got to look forward to, you know. So, yeah, we move on. Dan, do you want to do the next one?
Well, Brendan Conroy.
Yeah.
They've added Ono versus Dream to the card, but Cassius Ono is past it.
Now, I completely disagree with this. When you say past it, you know, you're not talking about Cassius Ono, you're talking about Brutus the Barber Beefcake, who's still wrestling on independent shows. For me, Cassius Ono is one of the greatest guys that never really got an opportunity at a young age because of his body size. Because he couldn't look like a WWE superstar, he never really got a chance. You know, if you YouTube Cassius Ono back in the day, matches against CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Chris Hero, who was known, one of the best guys out there. And I think he's got a huge role to play in NXT, because with NXT, it's all new guys. What is wrong with having, a bit like Eric Young in a weird way, this kind of veteran there? Yeah, he is a veteran who can still have great matches with all these young talents and put these guys over and show them what it's like to work on a show. You know, we've had it. You know, his matches with Gargano recently, and of course this match tonight with Dream. We've seen him against people like Eichner before. You know, I think Cassius Ohno is in a perfect position in NXT to kind of help him, and he can be here now for however long he wants. You know, he doesn't have to just move up to the WWE roster.
I think if he does move up, he will get lost in the mix. I think his perfect place for him is in NXT. You know, he does, as you're saying, he shows the younger guys around. He has very good matches.
Yes.
We've not been overly impressed by him, but you know, he still produces week after week.
Yeah.
You know, when he needs to.
Yeah, you know, he's no doubt he's not past it, and you need to kind of respect Ono, what he does, and people don't forget. You know, he was going to have the Kevin Owens push before Kevin Owens had it, but because, like I said, with weight problems and stuff like this, they dropped the KO from him because he obviously is Cassius Ohno, and then they went with Owens. But for me, I do love Cassius Ohno, so I've got to disagree with that. Jenny Borgman said, look forward to Rumble more, but as you say, NXT always deliver, and Dan, they always do deliver, don't they?
They do, yes. You know, as we've mentioned before, the NXT events last year completely, I think they outperformed on every level to all the WWE pay-per-views. Can we name one WWE pay-per-view that was better than a takeover?
No, I honestly can't. And I think about it, that makes it perfect, or makes it such a good show, is obviously you've got the shortened cards, you've got the 2.5 hours, you've got your 5 matches. They all get given a lot of time. They all give promo, and everybody knows what's going on. The video build up to each match as well. Then you've got the entrances, throwing the entrances like you had with Nakamura and Rude last year, and even McIntyre coming out, which was my entrance of the year, and Aleister Black. Add that to the match quality, and then what NXT did even more last year was adding moments. So not only did we have like a fantastic match in Chicago, then we had Ciampa completely destroying Gargano. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Brooklyn 3, it wasn't just about McIntyre beating Rude; it was the Undisputed Era showing up and completely destroying them as well. And I think with those moments that they do, even people in the crowd, like we said with McIntyre being in the crowd, it's like, you know, it does always give you what you want. And I've no doubt tonight it's going to be a cracking show. You know, they always go quick, don't they? There's never like
definitely, yeah. It doesn't drag on. You know, you're not waiting from one match to the other. It fills its time perfectly, and yeah, you know, it is. I think it's just great the way that they run through it.
Yeah, I think it really is as well. Alright, so we're just going to do one more shout out, because at the moment we're approaching midnight, and the WWE Network's NXT Kickoff will start in a minute. So what we'll do now is just, Steve Blynn's wrote in about predictions. Of course, we're going to run through the cards, like I say, in a little bit. And what are those predictions down for tonight?
He's gone for Black to win.
Yep.
He's gone for CN to win. He's gone for the Authors of Pain to win. He's gone for Baszler to win. So he's gone for a new women's champion and new tag team champions. And he's gone for Dream to beat Cassius Ohno. That isn't a bad shout. I've written your predictions down, and as we go along, you know, we'll include you in our game.
Exactly.
You know, you won't be able to choose a T-shirt for us to win, us to wear if you win. But it's always good to hear your opinions and to see where you've differed from us, or maybe you've gone the same as us.
Well, as we start 2018, we might not explain to anybody, if you're listening to us for the very first time, our kind of prediction league that we do. We started all the way back in 2015, and every year we have the prediction leagues. Last year we had 3, didn't we, leading to the year-end kind of all kit-kat caboodle that we had. So what are the 3 categories or the 3 leagues that we do?
The 3 leagues, we do 1 for the NXT pay-per-views, we do 1 for the WWE pay-per-views, and we do 1 for the bonus predictions.
So bonus predictions, like the Rumble mini-games we're going to do tomorrow night, Money in the Bank winners, tournament winners.
Yeah, and we've done our year-end predictions, they'll all go on to the final total as well.
And then at the end of the year, of course, the winner of each league will get bonus points to go forward, and then we'll calculate all the points even, and then the winner of that is the king of the WNR podcast for a year, and the loser has to wear a T-shirt of the winner's choice, or even as we can move along, I'm sure there'll be worse things discussed for the loser next year, the forfeit.
I'm sure we could even up the stakes because as a lot of you might know, I'm currently I don't have to wear it tonight. James has let me off it for one night, but it's still sat there in the background. My certified G, god awful Enzo Amore T-shirt with the ridiculous leopard print.
You still have to watch it, let alone anything else, so at least it's still there.
I suppose, it's actually worse than wearing it, because when I'm wearing it, I can't really see it as much. When I'm looking at the telly, out the corner of my eye, it's sat there with its certified G.
Well, the thing is as well, we should say that I did win, of course, last year's predictions, so I am the king. Dan, even scarier for you, mate, I will say, is that I didn't lose an NXT Takeover event last year. And I started off last year with a perfect score as well. So, we shall see what happens. But enough of that. Dan, should we talk about the last episode of NXT before Takeover?
I think we should do, yes.
So we move on to episode 2. And it is NXT episode 431, January 24th, 2018.
Well, Velveteen Dream video opens the show. Dream directs the scene, calling for ambience, atmosphere, and illumination. When he has the set just the way he likes it, VD says everyone dreams of becoming NXT champion, but they all walk different paths. Johnny Gargano dreams of being champ, and Dream doesn't doubt he will be one day. But that day is not now. Not when he's around. Gargano's path was full of doubt, while Velveteen's experience was pure. Either way, one dream ends tonight.
Well, Mario Ranallo, Nigel McGuinness and Percy Watson welcome us with Nigel cracking jokes about a returning star in our opener, who is No Way Jose, and he'll be going against Cesar Bononi.
Well, no way is Jose making a return.
Well, I think one of the most underrated workers in NXT, No Way Jose, back in action now. We talk about he's quite a big guy as well, so I think they'll keep using him, and I don't know if the No Way Jose character will last that long, but I think they can definitely repackage him. I mean, what are your thoughts on Jose?
Well, his gimmick seems to have died down a bit, really. He's kind of gone to a stripped back version of Jose. He's not dancing around as much. He doesn't seem as entertaining in the ring.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. So maybe it's time to change it up a little bit. We'll see what he's like tonight. And of course, he's going to get Cesar Bononi. And we talked about Fabian Ike now in the last episode. This is another guy who's kind of chiseled out stone, so to speak. He's quite a prospect. And of course, he's had a past in NXT already, hasn't he, Dan?
Has he?
Yeah, he beat CN, NXT champion. And Cesar Bononi actually upset CM when CM was going really down in Zelina Vega.
Well, didn't pretty much anyone beat CN, a while ago? Then, he got with Zelina Vega and, he's kind of turned his fortunes around to beat your man, Drew McIntyre.
Without doubt, and I have to grin and bear it, don't I? She has changed CN in, so much. And of course, we get on to them through the card and just talk about CN's kind of, a role he's been on. But Bononi's looking to put No Way Jose down. A lovely drop kick, now backing the big man up into the corner. And you can tell, well, I mean, when people up Benoni in action, you can tell it's NXT is a development league, because, like, not to be horrible to him, but he's the kind of guys you expect in the WWE development system, don't you,
Yeah. But, a few years ago, we wouldn't have seen many of these matches. They would have all been, part of FCW.
Yeah, exactly, FCW, and before that, OVW as well. But nice power there by Benoni, managing to pick up Jose, slam him down, but Jose managing to kick out.
Oh.
No, Cesar going to try and slow this down now, getting a sleeper hold maybe.
Works his knee into the back of Jose, and he's got that front face lock on.
No, man. No way, Jose there. Beautiful net breaker. Taking Benoni down. And now Jose with a left hand.
Oh, taking down Benoni. Jose's starting to get his way back into this match.
Yeah, chopping Cesar down.
Oh, lovely slam there. Can Jose get this match finished?
Well, I think he's looking to now. He's gone into the corner. Is he winding up? Pop up. Oh!
Pop up right hand.
1, 2. Is all she wrote there. I mean, Dan, what are your thoughts on that quite short match?
Yeah, it was a very short match. Jose started getting beaten down, got his way back into it. His pop up right hand finished the match. Put down Cesar Benoni.
Yeah, so no way, Jose is back in NXT.
Ronaldo reminds us of Philly's extreme history to intro a video package on Aleister Black and Adam Cole's rivalry, an Extreme Rules match at TakeOver.
And then we get Bianca Belair versus Latoya Allsop. Now,
Bianca Belair has got some long hair.
She has got long. She whips her hair back and forth. We've seen her use it in a weapon in the past. A great Mae Young Classic match with Kairi Sane. She really pulled out, and she's going to go against Latoya Allsop. And I mean, I don't want to say this is going to be one-way traffic, but what we've seen of Belair, what we haven't seen of Latoya, but she's going to go for a roll-up, but Belair using her power, stopping that.
And runs through Allsop.
And Bianca just stomping her in the corner, wanting her to get out. Oh, huge shoulder blocks there by Bianca, who's a really, really powerful athlete. Anybody's not seen her before. And Latoya there. Head scissors, but oh my word. Backbreaker by Bianca.
And Allsop's in all sorts of trouble as Belair swings her hair.
I don't think she needs to use it as a weapon at the moment. But can Bianca Belair be a threat in the women's division now?
Yeah, I think, as you were saying, when Moon and Cross inevitably go up to the main roster, you're going to need someone to hold the fort down. I think Belair could be a legitimate threat.
Yeah, she's looking impressive in this one with a forearm knocking Allsop down, and now it's got her in a, I don't know what this is, like a modified full Nelson. But she seems to be smirking, Dan.
She hasn't got a cigarette in her gob, James. She's just got a smile on her face.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it definitely was effective. Allsop getting slammed face first. Bianca Belair runs in, hits a turnbuckle. Now might be Allsop's chance. Off the second rope, Belair punch to the midsection.
I'm not too sure on the hair gimmick.
No, but it's something we haven't seen before, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, like an alley-oop by Bianca Belair.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my
and that
word.
is it.
That's done. And very, very impressive there by Bianca Belair. What did you think of the match, Dan?
Yeah, Belair looked certainly overpowering against Latoya Allsop. I'm certain this won't be the last we see of Bianca Belair and her very long hair.
So we do move on. And speaking of the Women's Championship, Women's Division, we see Percy Watson interviewing Shania Baszler and Ember Moon. Percy asks the champ why she called out Baszler, and Moon runs down Shania's attacks and calls her a bully. She asks if Baszler trying to compensate for something, if she's afraid of the women's roster.
Well, the Queen of Spades says she's... The Queen of Spades... the Queen of Spades says that to catch the big fish, you have to stir up the water. And Ember is the big fish around here. Moon says there's responsibility here and standards of sportsmanship and honour. She knew what Shania was doing, and while she might get to the top someday, it won't be Saturday.
Baszler gives the champ props for getting there herself, but says the difference between her and Moon is that she doesn't care whether everyone knows the path she took. They both stand for the stare down, and Watson asks Shania if there's anything she wants the NXT universe to know about. She again says she doesn't care what we think, we're just going to have to deal with it.
Well, we get a look at TM61 Part 2, and it starts with Thorne making fun of fans who only know their names as a Pokemon thing. It's also a missile, by the way. He then recounts the spot where he hurt his knee wrestling Roderick Strong in San Jose during a Dusty Rhodes Classic. He went on to work the finals at Takeover. To be tough, you've got to be dumb, and I'm real tough. But when they faced the Revival after that, he couldn't go anymore.
They show knee surgery. Nick Miller says that up until now in WWE, they've been trying to be something they're not. He'd hate fans to not only know them as they've been here. They both talk about their old name catchphrase, the mighty don't kneel, enough that you think they might be going back to that name, but it's not to be. In the end, we get clips of Harley Race putting them over as they vow to win the tag title someday, and I just tell us they'll be in the ring next week. They're wrestling in a dark match on Saturday in Philly.
Up next, Authors of Pain versus... Well, these guys never start because Authors of Pain destroy their opponents. Cut promos warning Undisputed Era. This will be happening to them on Saturday. Then pick up the local talents, back up for a Super Collider. Paul Ellering points at the card.
Not wait until a Carmen Razor pick up Fish and O'Reilly and slam them back to back into each other and then down into the canvas. Like I say, we'll talk about the card in a bit. Yeah. Nikki Cross and Lacey Evans will also face off next week before Takeover in a match set up by Evans' promo on the last episode. So we saw Lacey Evans in action last episode. Unfortunately, first she's going to have to go up against Nikki Cross. And then we get on to our main event, which is Johnny Gargano versus the Velveteen Dream. Of course, this is for the NXT title shot on the line at NXT Takeover Philadelphia.
Well, Dream enters wearing a Johnny Wrestling half shirt to a crowd split 50-50 for each man. A long ground-based in a stalemate, but when Velveteen Dream uses that as an opening to talk trash, Gargano slaps on the Gaga, no escape. Velveteen makes the ropes as we go to commercial.
So we are back now, and I mean, Velveteen Dream has got a point to say that he does deserve an opportunity. Of course, he was injured at Takeover against Black last time out, missed out on the Fatal 4-Way opportunity, and I think NXT deserves a chance at NXT title. It's been so impressive, and look at the way he caught himself there on the apron on the ropes. And oh no, Gargano drop kicks him off though. And now Johnny on the apron.
Oh, flips off, takes out Velveteen Dream. And we can't forget Gargano was the first man in NXT to put my man Aleister Black down.
Well, Johnny Gargano is one of these guys who've turned his NXT career around. You know, we talk about CN being NXT champion thanks to Vega. Johnny has done this exactly. Look at the destruction of DIY last year and what he had to go through emotionally. The losing streak. And like I say, beating Aleister Black, the first man to do it. Yes, thanks to Undisputed Era, but still. And now he's so confident that he thinks he can just beat Velveteen Dream. And he goes to spear his way back inside. But Velveteen Dream catches him, DDTs him down.
Lovely plant there by Velveteen. We was very impressed with him during his match against Aleister Black. He can put on a good wrestling match.
Yeah, I think he's really, really good worker. And incredibly, Dan, he's a really good worker. He's been around NXT for a long time. And incredibly, he is only 22 years old as well.
Bloody hell. His gimmick kind of reminds me of, I don't know, sort of a Gold Dusty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? With,
yes.
Like, you know, the way he is.
Yeah, it kind of, but I like that about him. And I don't think it's too Gold Dusty. It kind of brings a different way of looking at things. You know, I think a character like this can be hugely successful. And I never thought Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black would be one of my favourite moments of the year, you know, especially with that kind of say my name, the way they told the story.
Yeah, and even during the wrestling match, they told a great story as well.
I think even we've seen in this one as well that I think Velveteen Dream is very much the equal to Johnny Gargano and people like this now. And I think if they wanted to go in this direction, I could, quite happily get behind the Velveteen Dream as, going for the NXT title.
Well, Dream has only had one big match so far. You know, this is probably his second big match. And, you know, his third could be against CN for the his third could be against CN for the NXT Championship.
Yeah, well, and if it did happen, then I wouldn't be disappointed in it. If anything, I might be a little bit more excited as well to be so different. Velveteen Dream's knocked Gargano down. He's gone off the top.
He doesn't like high risk for high reward, and he'd rather a double axe handle smash off the ring apron instead.
He doesn't want to do anything spectacular for the fans. He's checking out Johnny Wrestling. He lays him out on the barricade there. And now he's on top of the stairs.
And another double axe handle smash to the back of the head of Johnny Gargano. Rolls into the ring to break up the dancing referee's 10 count.
Oh, but gets caught with a chop from Johnny. The thing I like about Dream, he's always in character as well. Even the way he moves. You know, it's like a slithering about.
Not like a viper.
Not like a viper, don't upset you there. But just the kind of mannerisms as well. So it's a complete character, isn't it? It's not just a one-dimensional thing as he slams Johnny Gargano to the apron and we go to yet another advert. Oh, we're back for Brayton. Johnny Gargano now trying to make a comeback. Beautiful step up in Zaguri there, sending the Dream to the turnbuckle.
Oh, rolls him out, rolls through with a lovely kick to the head, knocks Dream for 6. As he gets up onto the second rope. Oh! Lovely face plant there by Gargano. But Velveteen Dream managing to kick out.
I've seen those moves being the other guy was an offensive move. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But hey, I'm going to...
We'll gloss over that.
Times have changed, you know. The Dream's in a little bit of trouble, but showing experience beyond his years, going to the ropes. But he does indeed get pulled off as Johnny goes for the arm.
Well, he goes to twist it round, but he gets a punch to the back of his head for his troubles. But Johnny Wrestling manages to get it back, but Velveteen Dream picks him up. But Gargano with the backslide. Velveteen Dream turns it into a pin attempt. And Gargano reverses it. Both men get a 2 count each.
2. Oh!
And a kick to the face knocks Johnny Gargano's tooth out of his head. And he bounces off the ropes with a lovely lariat. And both men are face down on the canvas.
And what a fantastic sequence there by both men. These two guys are stars, you know. You've kind of got that babyface Johnny. Oh my God, wait a minute. 2. Oh. Dream kicking out. Right at the last second there. You got kind of, the underdog, Johnny Wrestling, the kind of exciting guy. And this kind of heel Dream character that you've got to kind of like as well. And Velveteen Dream trying to get his way back up. But Gargano stopping him. Maybe trying to get him in submission again.
Well, he wants to look for that Johnny Gargano no escape.
We'll always look for the Rainmaker. Oh, gets caught with a forearm though.
Oh, Velveteen Dream's got him up on his shoulders. Gargano with a backslide. Pushes him into the corner.
Oh.
Follows it up with a lovely running kick.
Oh, but the Dream had an advantage then, but Johnny turned it round.
Oh.
And then that was a DDT.
And a half.
Spinning DDT. Dream's got him down. Oh.
Gargano managing to kick out though.
This is an effort. This is a hell of an effort. But this is just for the number 1 contendership for the NXT title. Just imagine what these men will do with the championship on the line.
As Velveteen Dream looks to scramble up to the top rope before Johnny Gargano recovers.
And like I said, the fans are split here.
Is that the chomper section?
Most of them want Dream to win. Oh!
Oh, Gargano takes out Dream's legs. Dream pretty much lands on top of Gargano as he rolls out to the ring. But Johnny Wrestling looks set to go flying.
Well, that was nasty, but this could be beautiful.
Oh! As they crash into the barricade, and Velveteen Dream looks in a lot of trouble now.
Well, they both could be wiped out here. I think the referee should start the count, even man can get in the ring.
Gargano looks to have been able to recover first. Velveteen Dream looks out.
But he's already wearing the battle scars there. You see he's already busted his lip. Probably going face first in that barricade there. But you're right, Gargano got him in. Now he's looking to go to the top. Oh.
Dream bounces on the top rope, crunches Johnny Gargano as he was making his way to the top corner turnbuckle.
Now Velveteen Dream making his way up.
Looking to load Johnny Gargano up onto his shoulders.
Oh my God. Takes a lot of power. Velveteen Dream showing it now.
But Gargano's managed to come to a bit, and he's elbowing Velveteen in the jaw.
Well, he's just realised that. Away. No!
Oh! That looks like a modified FU off the top.
You get the shoulder over. This will be it.
1, 2,
2, 3. Oh!
Gargano managing to kick out at the last second.
Well, Velveteen Dream's in shock that he can put Johnny away. Now Velveteen Dream going up, looking to put away. Johnny Gargano maybe with a Rainmaker. But he's feeling the arm. Well, he can't use the left, he's using the right. Oh!
But Gargano gets his knees up. Velveteen Dream hits nothing but, hits his elbow but on nothing but knees. Not Tony Nese, by the way, James.
No, he's not in this match at all, is though, Johnny Gargano. And I think he just realised he's injured both arms now of Velveteen Dream.
And Velveteen Dream is armless at this point.
And he might be headless. The super kick connects. And Gargano kneels to the Dream as well. So this is what I'm just about to do to you.
He locks in the Gargano escape. Velveteen Dream tapping away with the back of his hand.
Well, the arm's broken. I mean, come on. That was unfair there. But, I mean, what a great match that was.
That was a brilliant match, yeah. That's been the best match we've seen tonight so far, obviously.
Yeah, but, I mean, usually NXT get their main events right, and we've seen
definitely
a few great matches recent times now, and I think, Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano is up there.
Well, Street Profits versus Authors of Pain on the last show we saw was a very good main event as well.
So, really, really good match here.
Well, after the match, CN and Zelina Vega hit the stage. Almas points to his title and they both laugh off the threat of Gargano. They make their way to the ring to show Johnny the prize. Andrade hands Zelina the belt and tries for a cheap shot on the challenger, but Gargano fights him off. But not for long. CN beats him down and throws him to the floor as the crowd boos. But Johnny climbs back into the ring while El Idolo is posing with the belt. When the champ goes to put him back down, Gargano catches him and nails a slingshot DDT while Vega freaks out. Johnny Wrestling picks up the belt for a look and holds it above his head while standing over Almas.
Well, very interesting way of ending NXT here. Will we see a new NXT champion? Will we have new NXT tag team champions? Will we see Baszler successful against Ember Moon? Who knows? But on to Philadelphia.
So that was NXT update. I mean, even 2 episodes, but still great episodes, weren't they?
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, they progressed the story forward, unlike Raw's of late. But it's always we do enjoy the NXT update, hence why we've kept doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's our longest running segment, NXT update, and like I say, we absolutely love doing it for you. But before we run through the card, we've been so excited by Ricochet joining, obviously. Throwing War Machine, and it looks good, but we've got even more rivals, Dan.
Yes, we've got American Ninja Warrior finalist Casey Catanzaro. She officially joins NXT, and for fans of flippy style of wrestling, the former American Ninja Warrior star Casey may be the greatest flipping prospect pro wrestling has ever seen.
Well, after receiving a WWE tryout back in January 2017 and briefly appearing at the Mae Young Classic on August 27th, the WWE officially announced today that how do you pronounce the name, Dan?
Catanzaro.
She's reported to NXT. She's been among the most enticing names expected to join the WWE Performance Center. Now WWE.com can confirm that the American Ninja Warrior alumni has officially reported to NXT. A former collegiate gymnast, she made a name for herself back in 2014 when she became the first woman to complete the qualifying obstacle course on Ninja Warrior.
Well, standing 5 feet and weighing 100 pounds, the 28-year-old would also become the first woman ever to complete a City Finals obstacle course on the NBC reality competition series. With over 14 million views, check out the viral video that helped Casey transform into American Ninja Warrior's first breakout star.
Yeah, well, more rivals as first reported on ESPN.com. I'll say that again, on ESPN.com. Former baseball pitcher Rinku Singh will officially arrive at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, where he will begin training full-time in his quest to become a WWE superstar.
Well, the 6'3", 256-pound left-hander from Baduy in India is ready to throw a curveball into the WWE Performance Centre landscape. A junior national javelin throw medalist who won India's 2008 reality TV series The $1 Million Arm, not The $1 Million Man by the way, James, Singh signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates to become Major League Baseball's first Indian pitcher. While his life story inspired the Disney movie $1 Million Arm in 2014, in April 2017 he joined 40 male and female athletes from India and the Middle East in an invitation-only tryout at the Dubai Opera House.
Well, Larry impressed Performance Centre coaches and trainers and earned himself a WWE development contract. Singh realises that transitioning from the pitcher's mound to a wrestling ring may be his greatest test, but he's confident in his abilities and his years as a hurler familiarised him with meeting such challenges. He said, "Take a look at where I come from," he told W.com. "Where I started, there was nothing. Now we have 23 states in India playing baseball and softball. As I go through my journey at the Performance Centre in WWE, it will continue to make things easier and have millions of people in my corner. It's going to be a fun journey."
Well, do you reckon his finisher is going to involve a knockout punch of some sort?
It would make sense, wouldn't it? Especially with the wind up, you know, like
Yeah.
you can go for it in the corner. If some guys want to have, you know.
Well, you know, just like for example,
I know you're
off
going
the
to
top
say.
of my head,
Why do you have to bring them up? We're talking about NXT tonight.
I know, but off the top of my head, like Mojo Rawley, he's got the kind of American football 3-point stance, and he uses that. Do you reckon, you know, Singh will become like the baseball style Mojo Rawley? And I'm sure you'll love him just as much as you do Mojo.
Singh joined several other recruits and reported to the Performance Centre this Tuesday, so looks forward to dealing very different strikes to opponents while training in Orlando.
As long as I stay focused and stay strong, just as I have over the past 10 years with baseball or track and field, it will lead me in the right direction, he said. Obviously, it's going to be total different training at the Performance Centre, but it does not matter where you came from. You're trying to be something bigger than yourself, and you've got to give it everything you've got.
Yeah, exactly. So we look forward to seeing those two guys, and we always tell you about the latest arrivals in NXT because they will be the stars of tomorrow, you know. So let's run through the card. We've spoken about it, and of course WWE kickoff, NXT started their kickoff show, and we'll talk about that after we've run through the card. So we'll start off, and this is just the order that we feel that the show might go. So first match, Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno. Dan, are you excited for this? What are your thoughts on this match?
Well, as we've seen from Velveteen Dream, he can deliver a good match. And Cassius Ohno, you know, despite some people's thoughts, you know, maybe he's over the hill, he still can deliver a good match. And again, as we mentioned, you know, he's good for putting the younger talent over.
Yeah, I mean, we've done predictions now in the sealed envelope. For me, I talked about with Cassius Ohno putting the younger guys over, like, you know, we've mentioned. And I think this is one of these things. But I still do think it's going to be a cracking match. And the thing I like about it the most is Velveteen Dream can deliver a story in the ring, and so can Ohno. So tonight I want to see like a real, like emotional story going on in the ring there. And I think they can do that perfectly here tonight. And you build up Velveteen Dream because the fans obviously like him. There's something special there about him, isn't there? And I think it. Plus, it could be a really good way of starting the show.
On the fly call,
gone.
They're going to switch. Velveteen Dream's going to be the face.
Yeah.
Cassius Ohno's going to be the heel.
That possibly could
you
happen.
Heard it here first, maybe second or third, but you know that's my view on.
That's at Vince McMahon's thoughts on the matter.
That is, yeah, that's a call on the fly.
But I think that's what's good about both men is that could happen. You know, you could have a situation where Ohno is beating down Dream, and like, you know, the fans are saying, "Come on, get off him, stop hurting him." Even if Dream maybe pulls out like a surprise victory, and then Ohno snaps straight afterwards. You know, because we haven't really seen that from Cassius since his return. That kind of heel character, which he can do really well.
Up next, we've got the NXT Tag Team Championship, and that is the undeserving era. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly going against the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, I mean, this one is very interesting because there is no doubt in my mind the Authors of Pain in a normal tag team match will run through the Undisputed Era. Tonight, the Undisputed Era really have to put it out and show us something that they haven't shown yet. Either a toughness or desire or will. Not keeping, not getting taking a cheap shot or a cheap way out. But Adam Cole tonight, we'll get on to it in a minute, he, instead of focusing on tag team title match, he's got Aleister Black. So he can't be involved, surely, tonight.
Well, don't call me Shirley, but then you've also got Sanity. Think about that one, my friend.
Do you think there's a chance Sanity...
they're not on the card.
Yeah.
They got beaten down a few weeks ago, and they lost their title shot. So,
I didn't even factor in Sanity in this one, you see. I just thought...
This is where I'm miles ahead of you this year, my friend. You are going to be wearing a T-shirt of my choosing by the end of the year.
I'll tell you what, I don't like that Drew McIntyre fella, You're going to buy me a T-shirt. What are your thoughts on this match? Are you looking forward to the match?
I'm looking forward to Fish and O'Reilly getting beaten down, and I'd love to see a Super Collider on their asses.
Yeah, I think that would be a very special moment for them to finally get their comeuppance, and hopefully tonight it happens. So that is the tag team title match, and we talk about Undisputed Era, and of course the next match is the Extreme Rules match, and they've been building this match up a lot, saying Extreme Rules, in Philadelphia. So we're expecting, I think, something special tonight between Aleister Black and Adam Cole, aren't we?
I'm expecting something, with it being Extreme Rules. If the Undisputed Era haven't been beaten down too much by the Authors of Pain, will they be able to make it into the match to help out their friend?
I think this is a perfect thing that you've just said. It depends on where it is in the card. If it's Black and Cole early on and take a title match afterwards, there's no doubt in my mind that Black will Black won't be able to leave. I think tonight, Black or Cole won't be able to leave. Sorry, I'm talking about Adam Cole. I know, leave the arena without help. I think there'll be stretches involved. I think Adam Cole's going to take a beating tonight from Aleister Black, and I think that will mean that he can't help the Undisputed Era unless they go the other way around and have tag team title match earlier on, and then you could maybe see Adam Cole. But I don't want tonight to be about the Undisputed Era getting involved. I want clean matches. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, but where they're involved, where they're in the matches, they're not going to be able to keep their noses out.
Yeah, this is what I'm worried about. Another match where, we've got 2 more matches left, Dan. Obviously, NXT gone.
NXT Women's Championship. We've got Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler. Again, there's obviously comments of Ember Moon not being deserved. She's only there because Asuka relinquished the title, but anyone who would have had the title after Asuka would have only been able to get their hands on it because it was relinquished by the Empress of Tomorrow.
Yeah, but I feel that Ember Moon, she's kind of out of the frying pan into the fire, because yes, she's finally got the NXT Women's Championship, but now the first person she has to defend against is Baszler, and I think there's not a badder person in NXT now, Asuka's gone, than Baszler. So with Moon tonight, if being an Ember Moon fan, I've got to start worrying about it, because Baszler is a real threat. But let me say, and I don't normally talk about this, but she was my basic number 1 pick in the Mae Young Classic, Baszler, and I think we're seeing how good she is, and tonight will be a good measuring stick in front of the NXT crowd with Ember Moon to put out a good match, because you could say she didn't really have a great match in Mae Young Classic, couldn't you?
Yeah, but also, Baszler's wronged a few women in the NXT division. Will that come back to haunt her?
But then again,
I'm not saying every match is going to have something.
Yeah, exactly. At the moment, every match for you, in the Velveteen Dream.
If it doesn't happen in the other matches, it could happen in this one. They've all wronged someone going into these matches.
And of course, in the main event, we're going to have Ciampa coming out and beating up Gargano.
Well, again, there is a potential of that. Or will Candice LeRae be the equaliser for Johnny Gargano and help push him to win the NXT Championship?
Yeah, I'm expecting a cracking match between these 2 men here tonight. And I think the story between Cien and Gargano has been told before with these two guys with the DIY t-shirts from Vega. And don't get me wrong, I'm surprised it's the NXT title match for a takeover event, but I'm pleasantly surprised because of how good a workers both of these men are. So what we want to do, we're going to say, even though we've done our predictions, why does each star need a victory? So Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno. Dan, which guy do you want to pick?
I'm going to go for Cassius Ohno.
Okay, so why does Ohno need the victory?
I think he needs the victory because he's been on the losing end, and I think he needs that push. Maybe he will be going up to the main roster very soon. Maybe they like to leave NXT on a high.
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream's going to be around for a while. He's been on the losing end for a couple. I don't think the losing end of him being on the losing end is going to hurt him. I think he'll be able to get built up again from that.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. I think he doesn't need the loss. But Dan, the Velveteen Dream, the reason why he does need a victory is because he's the next big NXT star. Look at him, he comes out, he looks like a star, he acts like a star, he's got that character. Just imagine gold round the waist of the Velveteen Dream. And beating Ohno tonight can work his way up, can't he? And finally have an opportunity at the NXT title. And with the Dream, he's going up, and Ohno, he's going down. And I think with the Dream, especially coming off a loss to Aleister Black, even though it is Aleister Black, I feel tonight that's why Velveteen Dream needs the victory. Alright, Tag Team Championship match.
You can choose.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why Authors of Pain needs the victory. No, Dan.
No, do it.
Alright, okay. Well, why does the Undisputed Era need a victory?
Well, I think, again, with the Authors of Pain, it's going to be inevitable for them to go up. And to give the Undisputed Era, as much as I hate them, they need to get the rub off of someone big, and maybe even win it clean.
Yeah.
That as clean as it can be, Adam Cole could come down and kick the head off Paul Ellering. I know it's not getting involved in the match, but it will distract a Carmen Razar enough to have them look over, and then Undisputed Era can win by a quick cheap shot.
Well,
again, another match, someone getting involved.
Exactly, but anyway, no. That's why they need. Why the reason why they need the victory though is, like you said, because they need to look like a dominating tag team, and if the Authors of Pain are not going to be there. But the reason why the Authors of Pain haven't gone up is because they're still not ready yet, and that's why they're ready for another NXT Tag Team title reign, and they need victory tonight to be this dominating tag team. Since they've lost the NXT titles to Sanity, that you could say they've kind of gone backwards a little bit. In the War Games, they weren't as strong or imposing as many people thought, and now losing to guys who, no offence to the Undisputed Era, but I mean, what? Also twice the size of them, So to lose to a tag team like that, I don't think it's good, and I think that's why the Authors of Pain need a victory. All right, Extreme Rules, Dan. Why does Aleister Black need to win tonight?
Again, I think he needs to put this feud with Adam Cole. He's already beaten him once. I think, he needs to put the final nail in the coffin and put this to bed once and for all. Again, with Aleister Black, he could potentially be a surprise entry in the Royal Rumble. He could be going up soon. He doesn't need the NXT title to be able to go up legitimately on a high. He's had some great matches. And, he's certainly got that it factor about him, and, even on Raw or SmackDown, he'll be able to make a great impression. Coming, maybe for the Bobby Roode US title Open Challenge of beating him.
Well, we'll see what happens, but I think Adam Cole needs a victory. Because like you said, Aleister Black's going up to the main roster. So we don't have to worry about Aleister Black. He may or may not get an NXT title reign, but he is destined for the roster. The Undisputed Era Tag Team Champions at the moment in time. So Adam Cole needs a victory, and he needs to look towards the NXT title as well. And I feel that in the next year, especially the next 12 months, that Undisputed Era are going to be a heavy factor. Look how much impact they've had. Look how much, time they've had on TV since their debut. And I think Adam Cole tonight beats Aleister Black. He sends Black away to the main roster. You can have your Aleister Black in the Rumble tomorrow night, and then Adam Cole moves forward as the face of NXT looking for that championship. Right, Women's Championship, Dan.
Shayna Baszler.
Well, you want to... Okay. Why she needs a win then?
Well, you know, she's come up, she's new, she's built up like this reputation of being a hard woman. She's going to have Ronda Rousey on the main roster. It's, you know, inevitable.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they're going to be the new 4 women of UFC, you know, they're going to need to have to look strong when they all come together as a unit.
Yeah.
So, you know, everyone knows what Ronda Rousey is capable of. We know Shayna Baszler's defeatable. But, you know, again, to be able to propel herself to the NXT Women's Championship on her first attempt, you know, it will be good for her.
Yeah. Well, I think Ember Moon needs a victory because she needs to prove that she's not just a stepping stone or she got lucky. Because the fact is, if she loses tonight to Baszler for the women's title, then it would just mean, like we say, she was just a placeholder. She couldn't get the job done with Oscar for over a year, and then her first defence of the championship, she loses to Baszler. I mean, that would destroy Ember Moon. She goes up to the main roster, and you'd be like, okay, you might be in the Rumble, but you're definitely not going to win it. And I think Ember Moon, if she gets the victory tonight, then she can build a legacy for herself. I think she's good enough to have a real impact in the women's division on the main roster, and I think with NXT, you go forward with her as champion. You know, Baszler's bad, don't get me wrong, but Ember Moon needs to show that she's not just a flash in a pan, you know?
That's a good point, yeah.
Right, NXT title on the line, Johnny Gargano, CN. I mean, it's your 311 boy, but do you want to say why he's going to need
No, I'd like you to say why CN...
Alright, CN needs a victory because then he needs to lose to Drew McIntyre at the next takeover when Drew returns.
Oh no, we're looking on positive, James. I delivered positives
Alright,
on the undeserving era and Shayna Baszler.
Alright, go on, give me goods on Gargano then.
Well, Gargano needs it because, you know, he has been around for quite a while, you know, and he's got that lovable thing about him. You know, Johnny Wrestling, everyone loves him. He's... You know, the return of Ciampa is going to be inevitable, whether it's this takeover or next takeover. You know, so they need to build up something. You know, Johnny Wrestling finally gets the NXT Championship, and then, you know, when he just thinks he's on top of the world, bang, in comes Tommaso Ciampa, setting him up for, you know, a good back and forth between them two. We know they work well together.
Yeah.
And then, you know, for Johnny Wrestling to finally come out on top over his former best friend.
I know, but what of CN? What of CN? CN needs a victory to prove that he wasn't just lucky at TakeOver. McIntyre was injured. We don't know how long McIntyre was injured in that match, and it was Vega. And after a while, people are going to say Vega is the reason why CN got the title, not himself. That's why CN tonight needs a kind of dominating victory. He needs to send a statement. Yes, we know Ciampa's coming for Gargano, but they don't need the NXT title to tell that story. CN's on a tale of redemption, and he needs to prove that he is a deserving NXT champion. Anybody that can beat Drew McIntyre deserves to be NXT champion. So, with CN now, he just needs to prove tonight against Gargano in Philadelphia that he deserves his spot. And his story with Ember Moon's story, very similar, because you've got two champions there who need a defence. And to lose the title will be catastrophic for either of them tonight, you know. And I think it answers, like we said, we've asked so many questions. Which way will it go? Will there be outside interference? And that's the kind of beauty of an NXT Takeover event as well, that there are questions created here, aren't they, you know?
Yeah, most definitely.
So, I mean, that is... I mean, Dan, what are you most looking forward to here tonight?
I'm most looking forward to Aleister Black versus Adam Cole. If Adam Cole can go as, you know, everyone believes him to be able to go in the ring, I think him and Aleister Black will pull out a great match.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, for me, I think that is what I'm looking forward to the most as well. The Cole and Black match. You see how extreme it goes. We saw what happened in War Games. We've seen stuff before, but will something happen tonight that will make us go either holy shit or just, you know, one of these moments in time we can't forget. But as a whole, it's going to be enjoyable because of the way they sort it out anyway. So we can only say it's great for NXT. I should say thank you for everybody to getting in contact today and hashtag WNR Live. But we're just going to say, because the kickoff started, didn't it? Well, how long are we now? Oh, fucking hell, 45 minutes. So we've got 15 minutes to take over. So I was just going to say about the kick-off panel quickly. It's Charlie Caruso, Sam Rosenberg and Samoa Joe. Dan, were you pleased to see Samoa Joe on the panel?
I was pleased to see him. Yeah, you know, he's looking well in himself. I think he's recovering from an injury at the moment.
Yeah, he's unfortunately missed out on the John Cena match at the Elias spot that is now taken, but foot injury. Hopefully he might be back for WrestleMania. We just don't know. Yeah,
it would be good to see him back. You know, he's built up such steam and he deserves a lot more of a push than he's getting. But you know, only time will tell with him.
Yeah, exactly. And then we backstage and we see Renee Young and Corey Graves, and of course we've got the winner of the we've got the WNR Awards here tonight, 2017. We also see the Undisputed Era arriving earlier. Of course, Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly backstage, all looking quite smart. Excuse me. And then we get the year-end awards, and the rivalry of the year goes to Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream. Are you happy about that?
I am happy. Yeah, you know, it was one of our matches of the year. It was, you know, it was a great storytelling match between the two of them. You know, even from the start of it, you know, and the amount of respect they obviously must have for each other throughout this whole bout. And then after it, you know, Velveteen Dream finally got his wish, and that was for Aleister Black to say his name. And you know, he said his name just out of sheer respect for the match they had together.
Then we had the male competitor of the year and breakout star of the year, and they both went to Aleister Black, Dan.
Well, you know, I'm not surprised. My boy Black done good.
He did very well. And we also get Samoa Joe's thoughts. He says that tonight the tag team title match will be about strategy. I said the word right, yes.
Yeah, well done, James. You get a point for that.
And no one is ready for the winner of the NXT Female Competitor of the Year, the undefeated Asuka. I don't think that's much of a surprise. I think she was our Women Wrestler of the Year as well, Dan, wasn't she?
Yes, I believe so.
And weirdly enough, the match of the year for NXT was also my match of the year, which was Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne, NXT Chicago. And Pete Dunne, it was on the panel, and we didn't really go into detail, but UK guys not on there. Dan, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, certainly, you know, they would have made a great addition to the show. But what match would you have dropped for it?
Well, I mean, no offence to Ono and Dream, but I mean, you know, Pete Dunne involved in a match, or I think I'd rather see that. You know,
Pete Dunne, only Lorcan.
Pete Dunne, only Lorcan. Yeah, I mean, we know Roderick Strong is going to compete in a number one contendership match for the UK title, which I don't really understand, but we'll see that in a couple of weeks' time on NXT. And also, the last award, Dan, it wasn't female, it wasn't male, it was just competitor of the year.
Yeah.
And that went to
Asuka.
So Asuka basically clean sweep to whatever she was in tonight.
Well, it was the old Asuka Aleister Black show.
Are you surprised Aleister Black's that over for the NXT crowd? Or the fans even?
I'm actually not, no, because you know, everywhere you go on Twitter, on Facebook, everyone's raving about Aleister Black, and you know, they've certainly got good reason to as well.
Yeah, well, I think you're right about that. And the NXT champion, the 311 boy CN, arrived earlier with Zelina Vega. And like we said, Johnny Gargano arrived with his wife, Candice LeRae. So it's going to be interesting tonight what we see. But I think that's about it, Dan. Final thoughts on NXT TakeOver?
Well, before we go, don't forget tomorrow at 10 PM we are live again for the WNR's first Royal Rumble live kickoff. And we've got latest news, 205 live check-in, mixed match challenge, and we're running through the card, Rumble facts, and lots of games.
Yeah, I cannot wait for our first Rumble kickoff show live. It is going to be mental. Rumble, we always get kind of giddy as school kids. Please go back and listen to the Rumble 2017 that me and Dan done last year. You know, the weekend last year was probably one of my favourite weekends that we've done, and one of our most successful weekends that we've done. And you go back and listen to, of course, NXT TakeOver and the Royal Rumble 2017, because there's a couple of things that happened, weren't there?
Well, you know, there was, not only was Bobby Roode beating Nakamura, which excited James so much, we also had me choosing Ty Dillinger as number 10 in the Royal Rumble, and of course me picking Randy Orton to win the Royal Rumble match itself.
Yeah, so
you know, we both had our victories, so to speak,
we did.
there.
And we'll talk about the mini games during it, and like I said, we've got so much tomorrow as well. But thank you for listening tonight with us live. We hope everybody enjoys NXT Takeover, which is just in 10 minutes time. But thank you for listening. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
at Vince McDan WWE.
I'm at J_Rowlands. We've also got a friend on Twitter, Dan.
Yes, he's just trying to make the world a better place, and that is Mini Chris Benoit. You can follow him at Mini Chris Benoit.
Across all the Google platforms, Google Plus, WWE Network Review. Send us an email to WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. You can come and find our page and give us a like with the WWE Network Review, or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, WWE Network Review Podcast. We've got clips going up there. We're trying to release new clips of me and Dan just basically mucking about, so you'll be seeing that throughout 2018. The podcast go at the same time to do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
And you listen to us now live on Spreaker, thank you very much. Of course on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. And like I said, enjoy NXT Takeover, and please join us tomorrow for our Royal Rumble live show at 10 p.m. I have been James Rowlands, and as always joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Bye.